24/7, 365. The fantasy season never dies. Welcome to Every Day is Draft Day. Presented by Champions Round.
Happy Friday, everyone. Every day is draft day. Can you tell I'm coming off of vacation? Can't even remember the title of my own show. I am your host, Steffi Smalls. My co-host, Eagle Dan FF. Back for another episode. How are you doing, Dan? I have missed you dearly.
I missed you too. I hope your vacation went well. And it's Friday. It's sunny out. Football's back officially. So yeah, everything's going great. Everything is great in life.
I've missed talking football. I feel like I was a little bit out of the loop. Didn't get to watch a lot of the Hall of Fame game last night. Watched enough, to see where overreactions were coming from. Some things I didn't totally understand why we were overreacting to, but nonetheless, football is somewhat back. It's like a teaser. I wouldn't say football is back, but we're almost there. We can taste it, have a little bit of blue balls for the actual season, but that is okay.
It's football foreplay is what it is.
Yes, football foreplay. Let's talk about Let's talk about football. I clapped. I can't clap. I have a broken hand. Okay, let's talk about football foreplay. Maybe that'll be the title of this episode. Talk to you about the Hall of Fame game. What kind of overreactions did you see? I had 2 takeaways. I'll let you tell me your reactions, then I will respond to you.
All right. So for the most part, not any like fantasy relevant players played. It was mostly like third and fourth stringers in both teams. 2 of the players that I really enjoyed watching were Snoop Cooper and Zamir White, the rookies, for the respective teams. They got a lot of play time, especially Zamir White looked really good, and Cooper did as well. So as someone that's been trying to grab Cooper at every single point I could, this year, I'm really excited about that. I'm a little surprised that Josh Jacobs was playing. I think a lot of people were surprised as well. But I think that with McDaniel being there, I think it's going to be more of a New England situation now with running backs in Las Vegas. I think that you're going to see, Abdullah and White and Jacobs all get some playing time. So it's probably going to, cannibalize the value of all 3 of them. But I really enjoyed White. I really enjoyed the reaction to, White. He had a decent game, 11 carries, like 54 yards, I believe it was. And, how everyone was like, he's a dynasty, running back 1 after that performance. So that was pretty funny to me. I mean, he did really well, but I would caution, pump the brakes just a little bit before it's the first game of the year.
Right.
But overall, it was fun. It wasn't like the greatest game, obviously, because of the quality of the players, but it was nice having football back.
Yeah. It's definitely better than the Pro Bowl, I would say, but still not that exciting. I think my 2 takeaways were Zamir White, Josh Jacobs, so we'll combine them as one. I think Josh Jacobs playing as essentially a backup last night because you saw him out there getting so many reps, a little bit confusing. I think you saw the explosiveness of Zamir White. I don't know that necessarily means off the bat he's their RB1, right? I think that there was a little bit of an overreaction, but I think it's exciting, in terms of dynasty. I don't know that I am 100% maybe in those later rounds as far as redraft going after Zamir White. I think it's a little telling for Josh Jacobs, but again, wasn't that shocking? Because I think we went into, the off season, went into the coaching change and could have expected that this was going to happen. Definitely was really impressed with Zamir White. Other takeaway, pretty plain and simple. Jaguars defense still sucks. And I think that that's going to plague them a lot this season, no matter how good the offense gets. I think that's something to keep an eye on. But it doesn't matter. Football is back. The overreactions happen. Let's talk about one of the overreactions. This has turned into a Kenny Pickett show. Somehow, slowly, it went from us before going to Mobile hating Kenny Pickett to us coming back kind of liking Kenny Pickett and understanding. Then it turned into us loving Kenny Pickett at his value, at his ADP. And now we're sitting here, and again, this is not shocking that Mitch Trubisky is playing fucking awful, okay? I don't know how many times you guys need to see Mitch Trubisky play. He's just a backup, right? Let's accept players for what they are. Say this all the time. Nick Foles, great backup to have. Tyrod Taylor, great backup. Some guys are not meant to be starting quarterbacks. Maybe he got screwed in the way that he was introduced to the league, but at the end of the day, I don't think this is shocking out of Mitch Trubisky. Mason Rudolph, I don't know, what's the surprising part? They used him last year. I think Mason Rudolph is Mason Rudolph, and I don't know, I think people are knocking Kenny Pickett way too early. He's a rookie, and he's coming from this is a new level of football that he hasn't played yet. Of course, he's going to struggle a little bit in camp. So what do you make of this?
I agree. I think, everyone was talking about how Trubisky, had that year in Buffalo and, he was fixed because he sat behind Josh Allen. I guess he got talent by osmosis. That's not really how it works, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised that, Rudolph has, showed up as well in camp as he has, considering, he wasn't even, on anyone's radar going into camp as someone that could, potentially get a starting job. If it were me, and it was between Rudolph and, Pickett for the starting job, I would just go with Pickett. I would let him, he was your first round pick. Let him, take his lumps early. Even if you don't have a winning season or whatever, I think that it'd be more valuable to him to have starting experience in the league going forward, if he is your guy, and he should be considering what you paid to get him. Then starting Mason Rudolph, who, while a decent quarterback, he's obviously just a bridge guy. He's not going to take the Steelers anywhere that they want to go. So if I was the coach, I would just let the rookie, get his snaps, get used to the game, get used to the speed of the game, get used to his receivers, and then go from there. I don't think that starting Trubisky or starting Rudolph, even I could see starting Rudolph for maybe a game or two, just to have Pickett watch and learn. But at that point, it's Mason Rudolph. Just go with Kenny, let him, get hit.
He tried against the Lions last year. He couldn't beat the fucking Lions is what it comes down to. And I think that this is more telling of, again, some of this might even be a little bit of a smokescreen. Maybe they just want to take their time to develop Kenny. He's still, coming out of college, was the most NFL ready. And I think that they selected him for a reason, and that was for his accuracy. So maybe you're not seeing that right now. But another thing people aren't realizing is Big Ben is gone. This offense is going to look different. Canada actually has the opportunity to really use his weapons and have a playbook that is his own, because a lot of that was, clouded by Big Ben being there and that being his offense. And I love that, and that's great. But I think Mason, this shouldn't be that big of an overreaction. Excuse me. At the end of the day, it's because they just don't want Kenny starting. And I think that they're going to have a placeholder there and have, I think the Steelers are going to get off to probably a rough start, and then they're going to end up starting Kenny. They didn't take him in the first round for no reason. And again, maybe they end up doing this weird thing where it's we see Rudolph and then Trubisky and whatever, but Trubisky is not. Guys, this was never going to be a thing, and everyone being so excited about it, but I think it's more that the Steelers just want to take their time with Pickett, and this is such an overreaction to a rookie QB. What are you guys freaking out about? None of these guys were even ready. What are you so, of course they're going to struggle in camp. This is a massive leap for all of these guys to be playing at the NFL level.
Yeah, exactly. And I think another thing that I think is doing Kenny a disservice is putting him with the threes in training camp. I think he should be getting, more playing time with the ones and twos. I think, wasting, not really wasted, but giving Trubisky and Rudolph those snaps, they don't need them. Rudolph's been in the same system for 10 years already.
Yeah.
There's no point in giving him reps that should be going to the guy that you are pretty much giving the keys to the franchise. Not saying that he's going to be successful. He might not be. He might, fail or whatever. But you should give him every opportunity to succeed. And I just don't think that Pittsburgh is going about it the right way.
And again, if out of any franchise, I do trust them probably the most of all these landing spots. So guys have to develop. And I think some of this could be I don't know, maybe they're playing with his head a little bit. Maybe they're trying to get him to work a little bit harder, or who who knows? I think that the offseason, you just have to be so careful with what you hear because it's so easy to be persuaded a certain way. And even I have trouble. It's so much fun. Like, of course, if I see Saquon with this do something sick on video, like, of course I'm going to get excited. It's very exciting. But part of it is also, like, you've been you're famished for football. Like, you want football so bad that you see something so awesome that it's so exciting. Another overreaction. Let's talk about it. This is one of my favorite topics right now. Just saw that one of the beat writers, it got corrected. There's two different reports that have come out. One is that actually Melvin Gordon and Williams are on this 55-45, whatever it is, split. Mm-hmm. What I don't understand is why you're so surprised. I think that everyone is very excited about Javonte Williams. And again, I'm very excited about Javonte Williams. He finished RB17 last year. Melvin Gordon finished RB21. I think that there will be still a split, though. People are expecting Melvin Gordon to just disappear. And there's this massive gap in their ADPs that makes exactly no sense. You know, it made sense from a football perspective for the Broncos to re-sign Melvin Gordon. And Russell Wilson and Melvin Gordon are like best friends for life. Like, they are like blood brothers. Like, they are really good friends. And I think that it's almost like a security blanket there that he has. And Gordon was ultimately like a very productive back if you're looking at a real football perspective, not just from fantasy. And that was even with splitting the load from Williams. I think that he could still be a very reputable fantasy player this year, you know, and you get the consistency out of him. He only missed one game last year, had like 203 carries for over 900 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, while also being involved in the receiving game. And they're down a guy now because we just saw Tim Patrick get hurt. Like, Melvin Gordon's going to be involved whether people like it or not.
Yeah, exactly. I think that everyone was, when Gordon was a free agent this offseason, everyone was ready to, you know, give the running back 1 overall to Javonte Williams. And that was like the big, you know, story for a lot of the offseason. And then when Gordon got re-signed, it was like, okay, well, he's just going to be a backup and, you know, just be a change of pace guy, whatever. Now, it's pretty much going to be what it was last year. Like, it's not going to be, you know, 80-20 or 70-30 like people want it to be. It's going to be like the 60-40. Gordon was a good back. NFL teams do not care about fantasy football. They're going to do what they can to win the game. Melvin Gordon is going to help the Broncos win games. It doesn't matter how good we think Javonte Williams might be. The coaches don't care. You know, like, it's a perfect example. Russell Wilson and Melvin Gordon have a history together. You know, Wilson trusts Gordon. He's going to get on the field. That's just the way it is. And the fact that everyone is like bemoaning this fact and acting like so shocked that Williams isn't going to get, you know, 100% of the carries, like, what were you expecting? He was never going to do that. That was never going to be a thing. That people are being delusional today.
Their ADP gap is like nearly 30. It's like 25 spots. Like, I get it. And I think that Williams he will finish higher than RB17 this year. But Melvin Gordon will probably still finish somewhere around RB21 to RB. Yeah. I don't think he's going to finish like RB. I think he will be higher than RB30. And I think because, yes, there's going to be a split. But at the end of the day, like, look at what they're doing in camp. And that's not – we're seeing the same thing replicate. And I think probably, yes, at some point Melvin Gordon is going to start seeing a decrease. But I don't think that's going to be as early on as everyone thinks and wants. And I get it because everyone loves, I know, I heard, it's all I see and I got it. And I got so much shit for writing on Twitter. Like, Melvin Gordon's going to be involved whether you like it or not, because at the end of the day, coaches do not give a shit about fantasy football.
Right. And I think a lot of it is like everyone is hunting so strongly for that last like bell cow running back. Like, they're gone. Yes. They are not coming back.
Oh my God.
The era of, you know, one guy toting the rock the entire game is over. You just have to accept that and get over it. Like the JTs and like Saquon's rookie year or whatever, like those are outliers now. It's 2022. It's a passing league. You're going to get guys that are good receiving. Perfect example now is in Dallas with Zeke and Pollard. Like Zeke is the prototypical, like, you know, old school 3-down, like giving the ball, and Pollard outplayed him. Like it's not going to be that way anymore. Williams is never going to be the bell cow back in Denver. He just isn't.
Yeah.
If it's not Gordon, they'll get someone else because it really is about schematically what's best for the team. It's not about, hey, all of fantasy Twitter is going to bemoan the fact that Williams isn't going to be, the bell cow overall running back one that everyone wants to be. The Buckers don't give a shit about that.
And you guys just want something to argue about, okay? Yeah. Like, you guys all just want something to argue about. I'm sick of it. I'm over it. I can't wait for Hot Takes Pancakes on Monday because I feel like I have some things to say. And we will be back probably next week, starting back up with 2 episodes of Every Day is Draft Day.
Yep.
Every week through the season. So freaking excited. Dan, let's wrap this up. It's Friday. We're going to the pool. We're going to have some drinks. Tell me what you're working on right now.
Well, I actually just finished my fantasy guide. So I'm really excited for that to come out. All 32 teams, all the fantasy info you would want in one place. So that should be coming out soon. Excited about that. Like you said, we're ramping back up with Every Day is Draft Day as the season progresses. We're doing some more fun top 10 lists for you guys on social media. So check out that. And that's what I have going on.
Good stuff. And go play Daily Dozen. Okay, listen, we have had people win no money, even though they hit 12 out of 12. You guys can use Daily Dozen if you're a first-time downloader. Smalls gets you also a free entry. Go play that. I have Smalls.
Stop hating money.
Yeah, why do you hate money? That's hating money is fucking weird. If you hate money, just say that. Yeah. I feel like we need to clip that, and that needs to be the new tagline of Daily Dozen. But I'll be back with Smalls Talks Ball. If you hate money, just fucking say it. Happy Friday, guys. Can't wait for oh my gosh, NFL is back. It feels so good. We'll be pumping out fantasy content again. It's been missed. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side.